and for meaningful stakeholder engagement. We appreciate the delegates' hard work, and we call on you to progress and conclude on strong solutions. The urgency of the planetary crisis requires action and multi-level collaboration now. We'd just like to highlight a few points with regards to the resolutions. On chemical pollution, major groups, with reservations from the business major group, would like to stress that it threatens our right to a healthy environment. We call on you for urgent legislative measures and an integrated approach to ensure the sound management of chemicals and waste. This requires the consistent implementation of MEAs, of the Global Framework on Chemicals, including its resolutions on gender, the Science Policy Panel and the Alliance on Highly Hazardous Pesticides. It requires a rapid agreement on a strong global treaty to end plastic pollution, a phase-out of forever chemicals and highly hazardous pesticides, and finally, a ban on chrysotile asbestos. We very much welcome the resolution on environmental aspects of metals and minerals. We hope that Member States can agree to ensure a strong collaboration between UNEP, Member States and major groups and stakeholders through an open-ended expert group with a clearly defined mandate. We strongly support the language and the rights of indigenous peoples and just transition, and welcome the precautionary approach with regards to deep seabed mining. We appreciate the synergies with the circular economy resolution, highlighting the importance of sufficiency and efficiency in resource use. With regards to nature-based solutions, we need an inclusive and transparent process to develop criteria, standards, and robust social, environmental, and animal welfare safeguards to prevent misuse. Nature-based solutions must prioritise ecosystem integrity, human rights, and rights of indigenous peoples for rural and urban populations. In line with the biodiversity framework and UNEP decisions, they must support ecosystem-based approaches. Major groups with reservations from business and children and youth believe that solar radiation modification does nothing to tackle the root causes of the climate crisis. Most SRM technologies involve the intentional release of pollutants on a planetary scale. The Human Rights Council Advisory Committee has already warned it could seriously interfere with human rights, not just of millions, but billions of people. The de facto moratorium on all geoengineering under CBD is informed by extensive research and expertise, and the proposed resolution of SRM may risk undermining this moratorium, legitimizing SRM and delaying the phase-out of fossil fuels. UNEP 6 should therefore focus, we believe, on upholding the precautionary principle, free, prior, informed consent, environmental rights, and the obligation not to cause transportable harm. We welcome therefore the African Environment Minister's leadership in calling for international mechanism for non-use of SRM and urge Member States to follow suit. We express our unwavering support for the adoption of the draft resolution on environmental assistance recovery proposed by Ukraine. With its initial intention, the text would be a valuable step forward for better protection of ecosystems and the communities dependent on them from the devastating impacts of armed conflict. We call on states to preserve the draft's strong language and state responsibility for conflict-linked environmental and landscape damage, its support for the wider legal framework, suggested use of multilateral environmental agreements as a tool for recovery, and the important proposed consultative process and guidelines for data collection. We call on you to support environmental justice and the resolution on climate justice. Let me finish by saying there can be no sustainable development without peace, and no peace without sustainable development. We call on our Member States to do everything they can to end armed conflict and to embrace non-violence and the respect for human dignity. Only through collective commitment to peace and sustainable development can we pave the way for a more secure, just and harmonious world for present and future generations. Thank you for your considerations.
Thank you so much.